Welcome back. Thanks a lot for staying with us here at CNN News 18, your election headquarters. I'm Ridhima Bhatnagar and with me is my colleague Toya. What an interesting day, Toya. It's turning out to be the MCD elections, technically on paper extremely hyper-local, but 250 wards, over 1,300 candidates in the fray. And exit polls had already given a clear edge to the Aam Aadmi Party, but it's turning out to be quite a close finish.
Nail biter. And you know what's interesting is, despite all the drama, the build-up in the last few weeks that we've discussed right here on the channel, the voter turnout at just 50%, less than it was the last time. What does that mean? That's also a particularly interesting question. We'll be taking a deep dive. But for now, Ridhima, what are we on to next?
Absolutely. So on paper, the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party is only seeing this as a contest among themselves. The larger question is, what does this then mean for the Congress party? But as I pointed out earlier, you already had multiple exit polls who had already predicted an overwhelming mandate for the Aam Aadmi Party. Interestingly, if the exit polls do hold and they turn out to be correct, then it will be a big setback for the BJP, because remember, the BJP had been controlling the MCD for the past 15 years. And this is the first MCD election that we're seeing post this reunification. Let's understand what's happening on the ground. Security has already been beefed up outside counting centers to ensure that there is no clashes between political parties during the counting and, of course, after the declaration of results as well. Before I bring in my colleagues and our guests, some reactions already coming in.
बिल्कुल बेफिक्र रहिए, इन रुझानों से हम लोग 180 से पार जाएंगे। आशीर्वाद रहा, आप सब वोटर भी हैं तो 230 तक भी जा सकते हैं। I think exit polls are pointing towards the victory of Aam Aadmi Party and we believe in that sense they are right.
जितने भी एग्जिट पोल थे, वन साइडेड लैंडस्लाइड विक्ट्री आम आदमी पार्टी को दिखा रहे थे और भारतीय जनता पार्टी को 60 से 70 सीटें दिखा रहे थे। अभी आप देखेंगे कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी और आम आदमी पार्टी बिल्कुल बराबर पे चल रही है। मुझे पूरा अनुमान है कि जैसे जैसे ये ट्रेंड बढ़ते जाएंगे, भारतीय जनता पार्टी 150 सीटों के करीब बनेगी और चौथी बारी एमसीडी में आएगी।
लेकिन सर, जब जनता से हमने बात करी, जिस दिन वोटिंग भी थी, तो वोटिंग परसेंटेज भी कुछ कम रहा, तो क्या लगता है वो दर्शाता नहीं कि कहीं ना कहीं भारतीय जनता पार्टी से लोग नाखुश हैं?
आप देखिए, जनता का तो जो फैसला वो तो अब लॉक हो गया है। अब जनता का जो भी फैसला भी कुछ देर में पता लग जाएगा। तो मुझे लगता है कि अब क्या जनता करने जा रही है, नहीं करने जा रही है, अब वो डिबेट का समय नहीं है। 1 घंटे के अंदर सब कुछ क्लियर हो जाएगा।
एक और बड़ा इल्जाम जो कांग्रेस ने और आम आदमी पार्टी ने लगाया कि जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी का कैंपेन था, जो अच्छी अच्छी बातें थी, सिर्फ सोशल मीडिया पे दिखाई दी, जमीन पर नहीं।
देखिए, जमीन पे थी तभी भारतीय जनता पार्टी आज 3 बारी 15 साल से सत्ता के रहने के बावजूद आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी नेक टू नेक, आप देखेंगे कि पूरी उन्होंने ताकत लगाई, अपनी पूरा पैसा लगाया, सब कुछ लगाया। तो उसके बावजूद भारतीय जनता पार्टी, जिसको आप 60 सीटें बता रहे थे, आज अगर उसकी उसी बराबर है, तो ये हमारे काम का नतीजा, हमारे कार्यों का नतीजा है।
You know, it's very interesting, Toya. If you speak to the Aam Aadmi Party representatives, they're saying we're extremely confident, we're already in celebration mode. If you speak to the BJP spokesperson, they're saying दिन तो अभी शुरुआत हुई है, आप धीरे-धीरे देखिए होता है क्या. You know, just going back as far as the entire campaigning was concerned, it was high voltage, and that should give you a sense of how the high stakes are.
Exactly, and that high voltage battle was seen from the BJP, the Aam Aadmi Party, and as we just said, the party that it seemed was missing from
Congress.
that was the Congress.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the issues that it seemed were front and center of this poll battle, number one, there was of course the immense discussion around waste disposal.
True.
As we're showing our audiences right here, the landfill sites, 3 across the city, one that is just 8 meters short of the Qutub Minar.
True.
What else was on top of the voter agenda?
So, you know, I was out on the ground, Toya, and before we bring in our colleagues and guests as well, I think it's important to understand what are the issues as far as these hyper-local elections are concerned. These are issues that have an impact on our day-to-day lives: garbage, sanitation, parking, and this is where the voter wants some sort of accountability. So when I was on the ground, there was a change as far as sentiment is concerned, because many felt that if 15 years had already been given to the BJP and if things hadn't been done, then why should they give them another chance? But as I said, and that's why it gives you a sense of why it was important both for the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. For the Aam Aadmi Party, of course, it will give them a fillip. Yes, it's just MCD elections, but then you will have the Aam Aadmi Party at MCD as well as the state government. The larger question for the voter on the ground is, will we now see a better synergy as far as the working is concerned, rather than this blame game that ensued? so far.
What was also interesting, and what I do want to go over to our reporters also to talk about right now, is the campaigns that you were talking about a little while earlier. We saw on one side the Aam Aadmi Party's high voltage campaign.
True.
Then we saw the BJP, which largely it seemed was running a blame game in its campaign. They were pointing fingers at Aam Aadmi Party leaders. I want to go over now to Nikhil. Our colleague Nikhil is outside the Chief Minister's house, Arvind Kejriwal's house. I want to understand from you, Nikhil, we saw the Aam Aadmi Party remain silent when it came to all the accusations that were made against Satyendra Jain. In the last few weeks, video after video coming out over the weekend of Satyendra Jain, who is, let me just remind audiences, a minister from the Aam Aadmi Party who is currently in jail. Video after video showing him, in one video, it seemed receiving a massage. In another video, receiving food that didn't seem to be from the jail properties. And yet we saw the Aam Aadmi Party maintain a studied silence. Nikhil, walk us through that approach, please.
Yeah, if we talk about the campaigning overall from the Aam Aadmi Party side and the Bharatiya Janata Party side as well, you know, despite being incumbent, despite being in the power for 15 years, the Bharatiya Janata Party was on the frontal foot. They were on the attacking position, and it was the Aam Aadmi Party who had to come on each day to defend on the allegations which were made by the leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And in a way also, if we, go towards the voters as well, they were also believing that the negative campaign is being ruled out in entire MCD. Negative campaign was done by the leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party, which they were not clearly associating themselves with. Because if we talk of the overall issues, as mentioned earlier as well, that the MCD polls were expected to happen in the month of April, but they were deferred because of the unification. In 8 to 9 months, if you remember, the major allegations of the corruption have been done in these 8 to 9 months only. So this is something which has really helped the Bharatiya Janata Party. They in fact fought really well this entire election. If we go through the minute details from JP Nadda, who is the Bharatiya Janata Party national president, to many of the chief ministers, many of the union ministers, in fact 100 plus MPs of the Bharatiya Janata Party, they were invoked in the national capital to campaign in 250 wards in entire capital city. And if we talk about the campaign, negative campaign, all campaign was surrounded over the allegations of the corruptions, over the allegations of the treatment which were given to Satyendra Jain inside the jail, who is lodged in the Tihar jail. And when it comes to the Aam Aadmi Party, they were on the defensive mode, and always they were standing very tall, very strong with their leaders on whom the allegations are already made. But if you go to the voters, they were clearly saying that they are not bothered as to what is being given to Satyendra Jain inside the jail, because all they care about is about the garbage issue that you have rightly mentioned, the basic issues, the civic issues. Because in last 15 years, what kind of work that has been done, the Delhiites have seen that. And in fact, this is one of the reasons as to why there was no particular strong wave in support of any of the party. This is the reason why 50% is the only voter turnout that we have seen in the national capital. Had there been any proper wave or the strong wave in support of any of the party, we would have seen larger number of voter turnout. But these are some of the issues which we have seen. So this is the campaign which was all about. And if
Nikhil,
any,
I'll just request you to stay on with us.
Loses,
I believe there is some activity that's happening at the BJP office. Yash, could you talk to us about what is happening around you? I did see some people coming in.
Well, in fact, now the senior leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party have started to come inside the Delhi BJP office. In fact, just moments from now, BL Santosh arrived, who is the National General Secretary of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And a moment from now, Jay Panda was also here. So the senior leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party are reaching the Delhi BJP office. They're probably in huddle, and they are probably making strategies what lies ahead. Right now, the car is moving in both the directions. Sometimes the numbers are going in the favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and at some point in time the numbers are going in the favor of the Aam Aadmi Party. So leaders from the Bharatiya Janata Party and the senior leadership has started to arrive at the BJP at the Delhi BJP at the Pant Marg, and in fact all the senior leaders are inside this very place. And also I'll give you a glimpse of this BJP Delhi office. In fact, now the Karyakartas have also started to trickle inside the Delhi BJP office. In fact, right now also when we spoke to certain leaders, be it Shehzad Poonawala, Harish Khurana or Tejendra Pal Singh Bagga, all have been maintaining that this lead will continue for them, and all what they're and the leads which they have taken, these leads will remain, as all the margins in these elections are raised thin, and in fact they've been saying that and they have rejected categorically all the exit polls, and they are confident that there is no anti-incumbency and they will continue to fight, and the mayor will come from their party only. And in fact, on the other hand, the Aam Aadmi Party is continuously claiming that their issues have been resonating with the people in the national capital, and what Bharatiya Janata Party has done has only made allegation against the Aam Aadmi Party, and they had done actually nothing for the people of the national capital in the last 15-16 years. So this entire battle is now turning out to be very interesting when results when the early trends are coming out,
Sure.
and we are waiting for the results. And I think in next couple of hours, situation will be very clear if the BJP is able to retain the municipal
Sure.
corporation in the national capital, or Aam Aadmi Party is able to make the headways.
Okay, I'll just request my colleagues to stay on with us because